Hi, so today I'm going to be talking to you about some movies from my VHS collection. I have quite a huge collection of VHS tapes. I still have a JVC VCR, which I'm hoping to review in a future video. But today I'm just going to be showing you a sampling of some of the more interesting VHS tapes from my collection. So let's get started. First of all, I have the famous live concert Stop Making Sense featuring the Talking Heads. I've been a huge Talking Heads fan for most of my life, and I was very, very thrilled and excited when I found this VHS tape. It's in very good shape. I don't think it's been played much. I think I only paid maybe $2 or $3 for this. I can't quite recall where I found it. I believe I found it at my local Value Village. But basically, a real must-have for any Talking Heads fan. Stop Making Sense. Coming up next, I have this Beatles documentary. This is called The Complete Beatles. You can't really see the full title because there's still the original price tag on it. I did not pay that much. I didn't pay $30. I think I bought this online for under $20, including shipping. This is a great documentary about the Beatles that came out in the early 1980s. I think I first saw this on TV. It was played on PBS way back in the day. And we can see the bright cover artwork, and there's a description on the back there and showing a list of all the songs that appear in the documentary. No graphics on the back, but hey, it's still a great film. Probably actually one of my favorite documentaries, and probably one of the better documentaries I've ever seen about the Beatles. I've actually been trying to get this on Laserdisc for quite some time. You can find it on Laserdisc, although sometimes the prices are quite inflated. So I was happy, for now anyway, to get it on VHS. Coming up next, we have this film, American Pop. Many of you may have seen this before. This, of course, was done by the famous animator Ralph Bakshi, who also did Fritz the Cat. Very interesting movie. It basically chronicles the evolution of pop music in America, starting with Immigrants many, many years ago, all the way up to modern pop, or modern for this film when it was produced in the 80s. I love the graphic design. You can see it's got that sort of laser quality on the front, and it also has it on the back as well. We see some neat illustrations from the movie and a recap of the film. If you're into rock and roll, the soundtrack to this is fantastic, and certainly if you're into animation, it's really a great film. As you can see, I only paid $2.50 for it, and believe it or not, I found this in a bargain bin at Walmart, of all places. So, a really cool find indeed. Coming up next, we have the one and only Blade Runner. Yeah, one of my all-time favorite films. This, of course, is the original version with Harrison Ford's narration. Now, a lot of people don't like the narration. A lot of people think it really brings the film down. I actually quite like it. And to be honest, I think I prefer the original cut with the narration. Again, this is another film that I'd love to eventually get on Laserdisc, but I was quite happy to find the VHS. And you can see there's still a price tag on it there. I paid $6 for it. I think I bought this in a local secondhand store. But basically a very cool movie, a very nice movie to own. I've seen it dozens and dozens of times over the years. We have some very cool graphics there on the back. Overall, a really cool VHS tape. Coming up next, a very different film, but also a classic, The Wizard of Oz. And we see here on the cover, this is the 50th anniversary edition. So if you do the math, the film first came out in 1939, so the 50th year anniversary would be 1989. And this one has some really cool features. We see there's a little booklet here commemorating the 50-year anniversary. And we have some really nice graphics from the film, some behind the scenes stuff, different anecdotes, talking about L. Frank Baum, the author of The Wizard of Oz, all the characters, all the actors who appeared in the film, different behind the scenes stories. It's really some very impressive graphics, and it really makes for a very nice VHS tape version of the movie. And on the back we also have some very playful illustrations there from the film. Certainly a film that I grew up with, a film I've seen many, many times, and one that I still enjoy to this day. That's The Wizard of Oz. Now, coming up next, a truly odd little film. This is called George Lucas in Love. Now, if you're not familiar with this, it's basically a little spoof of Shakespeare in Love, but involving George Lucas and his days at USC Film School. It's a quirky little film, a funny little film. It's quite short. I think it's less than 10 minutes long. So yeah, basically that's all you get on this tape is basically the short 10-minute film. We have a couple of images from the film there on the back. We see it was an official selection at the Toronto International Film Festival and a winner of Best Short Film at the US Comedy Arts Festival. Again, a very quirky little film, certainly of interest to Star Wars fans, to George Lucas fans. And I actually found this, it's interesting. I was in Portland, Maine, and I was in a used bookstore. This would have been probably about 11, 12 years ago. And I found this in this used bookstore in Portland, Maine. I think I just paid maybe $3 for it. Anyway, a fun little collectible, especially for a Star Wars fan like myself. Coming up next, very, very interesting. You can tell that I'm definitely a music fan. And this is a tape that my friend sent to me. This is called The Monkees' Secret Video File. And it's 70 minutes long. Obviously, it looks like some sort of bootleg that someone made at home. We see a picture of all four monkeys there on the cover. And if I turn it over, basically we have this sort of very low definition picture of the monkeys, and we have a list of all the different video clips that are on this tape. We have everything from a Sugar Pops commercial featuring a very young Mickey Dolenz, NBC TV promos, Kellogg commercials, different things like that, Kool-Aid commercials, all 10 recordings from the Monkees hand puppet, and MTV Monkees promo, all of these different things. So certainly if you're a Monkees fan, it's definitely something worth tracking down. I don't know where my friend found it. He simply knew that I was a Monkees fan, so he stuck it in the mail and sent it to me. I'm very grateful for that. Thank you very much, James. And again, certainly one of those sort of handmade bootleg things that can be of interest to real die-hard fans. So that's the Monkees' Secret Video File. And the last tape I'm going to show to you from the 80s, a science fiction curiosity from the 80s. This is called Runaway, starring Tom Selleck, and also featuring Gene Simmons in one of his acting roles. He plays the bad guy in this film. Now, I remember seeing this film when I was 12, 13 years old, and I absolutely loved it. It just was a very cool science fiction movie. Now, we see some photos there from the film. We have a little recap of the movie. We see it's approximately 99 minutes long, released by RCA Columbia Pictures. Yeah, so this is a very fun movie from the 80s. Certainly not perfect, but definitely a fun movie to watch. I found this in a store called Movie America, as you can see here on the box, and it was actually in a mall in Bangor, Maine. And this store, they're not there anymore, but this store used to sell all kinds of used cassettes and CDs and VHS tapes and DVDs. It was a really cool store, and I wish they were still around, but unfortunately they're not. But anyway, I was very happy to find this tape in their store. So that's a look at some of the VHS tapes in my collection. Thank you for watching. Certainly if you collect VHS, I'd love to hear from you. Leave a comment, give us a thumbs up. We'd love to hear from you. And as always, please subscribe to the channel. I post new tech-related reviews every week, so the best way to stay on top of all the latest reviews is to subscribe. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again next time. Take care. Bye-bye.